It's second pour.
It's always second pour.
Well, at least on Fridays
Am I overly excited?
You are. And today we're going to have a new whiskey, of course.
Which we already had some of.
Earlier this week, but today we're going to talk about it.
Yes, today we're going to talk about Mellicorn.
No, today we're going to talk about Uncle Neaest, 1856. Welcome to Second Pour. My name's Jeff.
And I am, of course, Zane.
And today we're going to give our opinion of Uncle Neaest 1856. Now, we are definitely not the first people on the review on this stuff.
I'm sure we're not the last.
No, we won't be.
Nah, for sure.
But we are going to have some Uncle Neaest 1856. It's won a slew of rewards over the last few years.
A slew of rewards.
Slew of rewards. Try to say that. Awards. Rewards, awards. That's right. So I say I'm pretty much empty on this, so I need some.
You need some.
I need some whiskey.
Wait. Oh, beauty.
What a beautiful sound.
So we did have some earlier.
Yeah, of course, because we shot some when we had the whiskey pop.
Yep.
So now we're going to try it a second time.
Hey,
look, there's another glass. Suddenly it just amazingly appeared out of nowhere.
Uh-oh. I just drammed a whiskey. You know, on second pour, we like to do things so expertly.
Should I hold my pinky up?
Yes. Okay, I have to admit to you.
Yeah.
I am an expert.
We are not experts. It's amateur hour here.
At least with the bald guy.
So, Uncle Neaest has been around for a little while. It's got a nice, interesting history. I think later this week, we're going to talk about some of the history behind it, but I want to focus mainly on the whiskey itself like we normally do.
Yeah.
Now, I will say that it is 100 proof.
Okay.
It is distilled in Tennessee and then bottled at the Uncle Neaest distillery. I'm not sure yet, but I think they've just started distilling their own whiskey. Before that, they have been purchasing whiskey and then kind of blending it, doing their thing.
I gotcha.
So might have been distilling it
it's
at
like
one
a
location.
larger volumed craft whiskey.
So yeah, because they were distilling it at another location. Yeah. So I'm sure their master distillers are at that distillery. What I do know about it, that the mash bill is undisclosed. So we have no idea what the mash bill is, but it's 100 proof, 50 ABV. It is done in Tennessee. It does use the Tennessee process.
I wonder, does it mean there has to be like, what, 51% corn?
Oh, at least. So, but it does have, what we hear has corn malt in it.
That is interesting.
Yeah,
because they're not like putting that up on the label.
No, they're not putting it on there, but from what I can understand, from what I've researched, that is something that used to be common in Tennessee whiskeys and then later has not been, and they brought it back. I do understand, I think that the recipe for this was something they found in a book saved out of a burning house. So it's under like lock and key now. So it's like a very old recipe.
That's kind of neat. Yeah,
it's kind of cool, right?
Yeah.
So there is a lot of history behind Uncle Neaest, and we can kind of talk about it very little, but it is affiliated with Jack Daniels. Not the company as far as the Jack Daniels producing it, but it is affiliated in a way.
It's affiliated because of the history.
The history in it, right. So, but we can talk about that on the Hold My Whiskey this week. In the meantime, let's smell this. Ooh, yeah.
This smells like an 8 to 12 year aged.
8 to 14 year whiskey. Go figure. Being that it said the blend
suddenly,
of premium aged 8 to 14 year whiskey.
The nuance became so amazingly much more so.
It's funny, when you hear something that's 8 to 14 years, you just get a little more bougie. So the nose on this, they say, is a bale of hay, dried grass, stone fruit. You know what a stone fruit is?
I do now, actually.
Yeah, I had no fucking clue.
It's any fruit with a pit.
Also say there's hints of caramel corn and sweet maple in it.
I catch floral on the nose too, but I do catch that, what's that? Like a fruity caramel.
Yeah, like
is that a thing?
The caramel, fruity caramel.
Yeah, it's a fruity caramel.
So like a peach caramel.
Yeah,
it's like Crown.
It's not like Crown. All right, taste it.
All right, let's go in. Okay, that is really spicy on the front, right? But not as spicy as it was the first time we drank it.
No, and I would say this much is it's more impressive
as you go along.
The more you have. Yeah, this sounds ridiculous, but I don't know if anybody else relates to this, but I feel like I want to kind of chew on this a little bit. Yeah, like,
Do I need to get the cowbells
I'm
out?
just gonna gum on it for a while. But it has like a substantive quality to it.
It says on the palate, let's do that while you chew. Spicy caramel, hints of maple, dried fruit, and floral notes. So there's those floral notes that you're talking about.
Yeah, for sure.
Sweetness and spicy, reminiscent of freshly baked oatmeal raisin cookie. I don't really get the oatmeal raisin cookie. I do get the vanilla. I do get some of the fruit.
Now the oatmeals. That oatmeal, I think, is pulling out, which might be because that malt.
Like the corn malt, right?
Yeah.
Because like I was saying, that malt tends to give me in my palate that sweet breads.
Yeah, I'm just getting like Whoppers.
I would be curious of how much rye spice is in this, how much rye is in this, because of how spicy it really tastes. I'm
not getting the pickles though, so I don't know.
No pickles. So the rye has to be still pretty low percentage, I think.
It's probably what, 10%?
10, 12%. I would be surprised if the corn malt is not a much higher, concentration than we're used to.
Yeah, and
definitely more than 51%.
Definitely more than 51%. And because again, this has the classic charcoal, filtering process.
Yeah, now they filter it through maple charcoal, so
even then, so they're just doing added things that really will make it more chewy. This is chewy.
It's a chewy.
I like chewy whiskey.
It's aged in charred oak barrels, maple charcoal filtered, handmade in Tennessee, award-winning American whiskey. The finish, before we rate it, says it's long and rich, lingers pleasantly on the palate.
Absolutely.
And notes of vanilla. I do get the vanilla while you're sitting there after you swallowed.
I mean, it's not like notes of vanilla. It is like vanilla. Yeah, you're getting it, especially giving it, 30 seconds between swigs or whatever.
Let's rate this.
All right. We have our standard. The unicorns are the 5s.
The 5s, right?
And
1 to 5 finger.
1 is your Ever Williams, your Mellow. I mean,
easy.
Personal palate taken aside, but first swig, was not rated well with me.
So you were saying maybe a 1
or a 2.
Wow, that's pretty low. Okay, but this is second pour.
This is second pour, and
you've had a couple of them.
The nuance has really exploded for me.
Yeah.
This is a 3.5.
Wow, a 3.5.
I think actually because of my personal flavor palettes, I'm going in deep on this one.
Yeah.
It's
actually, hear that he's going in deep.
It's way better than I thought.
Yeah, this is pretty good whiskey. It is definitely not a 1 finger. It's
not a 1 finger, and I mean, I'm not hyping this. I don't give 2 shits if people like my opinion or not. But
I'm gonna be straight up on this one. This is a 4.
Do you think it's? Yeah.
This is a 4 because I not only know what they're doing with this whiskey, with the history of the whiskey, but it's also everything that a Tennessee whiskey is supposed to be.
Yeah, we don't have a lot of quote unquote Tennessee whiskeys.
We do and we don't.
I mean, us.
Famous Tennessee. Between us, right?
Right.
So to me, this is better than Jack Daniels.
Well, everything's better than Jack Daniels. Right?
Ouch. But at the same rate, I mean, I think there's something special about this whiskey. I could see why. Now, we didn't talk about the price, but it's around $60.
Yeah, and we went through the litany of awards that it won over the last like 6 years or so.
Won a ton of awards.
And you're like, whatever. But then dude, it's when I've drank more and feel the finish. This is good.
I think it's a great whiskey. I think you should go out and buy it if you haven't had it yet. If you have had it, hey, write down below what you think about Uncle Neaest. They do have a couple others in their product line.
Yeah, they do. This is the more
this is the premium whiskey, right? The bougie one.
This is the one.
Yeah, but I mean, I'd be curious to see if there's one that you like more than the 1856, or do you like the 1856? You know what I think we ought to do on Hold My Whiskey this week?
I don't know.
I think we should do a whiskey comparison of this with Jack Daniels.
Oh, that'd be a great idea. But I mean, you can't use standard Jack because it's like, what are we talking?
I think Gentleman Jack would be good.
Yeah, there's more wide open
whiskey. Yeah.
A
little bit more going on
That's
there.
Good.
And I know it may not be fair because it's probably not the same proof, but
of course not. But
there's a lot going on here, and I think we ought to talk about it.
All right, so
in the meantime, you guys continue to be cool this week, and we'll see you next week for
What are we going?
Another second pour.
Oh, I get confused when I drink a lot. No, I don't drink a lot.
I haven't drank that much yet. It's only noon.
Yeah, that's right.
Oh, wait.
So we're going to have another second pour next Friday.
Cheers.
What are we doing next Friday? Second pour.
Second pour. Every Friday. Every Friday's a second pour.
Every Friday.
It's a second pour. Sometimes Friday, Saturday, and Sunday.
But I'm waiting for third pour because I hadn't had any Ardbegs in about a month.
It may not be a bad thing.